The screensaver one though. That's a good story. But
Okay.
yeah, welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined again with Shawn Gervais from Orbis X CRM and Marshall Hill from the Pints of Polishing Podcast and Hyper Clean Car Care Products. It's been a juicy day today. Sorry, I'm
Mm,
jumping right in. And what do we
you
got there?
are. I love it.
That looks
This
special.
is
Ooh,
Fruity Pebble Gang. We do get to own the juice,
ooh,
Juice Force. I did
juice.
not get to own the podcast yesterday. Those of you that are watching, I am again on my phone.
It,
I can Cox internet. I don't understand. It was a miserable day yesterday. Yeah, we launched a product, but I didn't get to do the podcast because we couldn't connect to the internet. Same as you and I were experiencing. And I even bought a new router today. So
mm,
Cox is going to be out tomorrow to fucking take a look. I don't know, like
damn, yeah.
miserable.
It's one of
Like
those.
I mean, everything was teed up. It
Yeah,
was May
everything.
the 4th. May the 4th. May
Yeah,
the Juice Force be with you. It was an Imperial IPA. Like
yeah. All the
I
pieces
had,
just.
we had it. We had
Yeah,
it. I think the dark side. I think the other dark side. Something
that,
happened.
that's what it
Something
was.
happened. I didn't allow the full Juice Force to be.
it's, it's true. Yeah, yeah. I will say this too, because you guys had everything queued up and ready, which is amazing. A lot of people don't do that. Like you got to think, there's all these kind of little cult kind of nuances and stuff like that people can capitalize on. So when I get
Yeah,
messages like,
I
"Oh,
love that stuff. Right?
I don't know what to talk about. Like, what do I keep emailing my customers? Like, here's some winter prep tips and stuff." I'm like, "No, man. There's so much more interesting shit that you can do. Like, there's all these little things. Like, there's for crying out loud, there's people that still collect Pokemon cards. Like, there's no shortage of shit out there that are cult followings that people love. There's everything from horror movies.
But I think let me push back, Sean. I love what
All
your
right,
direction, but let
go
me
for it.
push back because I
All right,
just know some people are listening. They're going to go. I'm not going to go out on social media and talk about Pokemon cards,
fair.
even if they like Pokemon cards, simply because
Yeah,
they don't want to be associated maybe
with
with
yeah,
people, right? Like, what
fair.
would you talk, right? This would be the like, how do you then go find, which is why I wanted to push back. Not
Mm.
that you were wrong. It was, I knew what some people were thinking. So we got
And
to
so
push back
bringing that to
to
the
get to the
surface.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I think a big part of it is like, first off, I'm a big fan of conversations. Talking with customers, you find out all kinds of cool stuff. But then what do you do with that information if it's just rattling around your brain? Is you got to be looking for patterns. And that includes like your staff. So encourage your staff to have conversations with customers. And then what you need to do during a lot of your meetings is don't make every meeting just like a, hey guys, okay, this is what our plan is for the next quarter. Hey guys, this is how we're going to do inventory from now on. Like, sometimes meetings are just, what are some cool conversations you guys have had with customers? What are some this and that things you guys learned, insights, things that are kind of hard to quantify in a way.
And then
You,
what?
you got
Find something that you really like. 'Cause I
to
think you're
find.
gonna like it. You do have to like a lot.
Oh,
If
okay,
you're
I see what
gonna
you're saying.
talk about it,
I
that's where
don't
I'm
think
going.
so.
It's like you see,
Yeah,
okay, this is the cool part, right? Like
you're
let's
right.
because
Yeah.
I think if I'm gonna talk, which is why I picked beer and barbecue
Mm,
back in the past, right? Like
mhm.
I I liked eating it. I liked drinking it. I enjoyed talking about it. I didn't
I,
know all the nuances. I didn't,
yeah,
it took me a bit to figure out the different hops and the different things that go into it,
yeah. Okay,
but I enjoyed
that's good.
drinking. So I wanted
Yeah,
to talk about drinking, and I knew every detailer around, call it
yeah,
70, 80% of detailers have no
yeah.
problem drinking a beer. So
Yeah.
that gave an avenue that we
That's
could
the gateway in.
associate something together. This is where I think kids sports.
Sports is a great one because it's
Sports is a great one. You don't even have to go kids sports. Good call. You don't have
yeah,
to go, but just sports in general, local sports. Giving your
yeah,
opinion on local sports. Why not?
it's true.
Well, maybe it's too aggressive. Sports can get aggressive. Beer's
Can
not
be.
aggressive.
Yeah, it can be because there's fanatics on both ends. Like people are almost sometimes they
Do you
care
see
about that more.
realtors? We got quite a bit of realtors here that have started the food channel ish type of
Oh, yeah, yeah,
reviews.
yeah.
That gets a
Basing
lot
on
of
some of the-
attention.
yeah. Sometimes too, I think the reason I push back on the having to like it is sometimes your interests aren't going to align all the time with your customers, right? In terms of like hobbies or extracurricular things that they like, but that's where you can kind of lean into that. And let's take the example of like Star Wars. Not everyone's a fan. You know what I mean? So you can be like, "What's the big deal with this?" And people like talking about, like what is it that drew you in? What is it that you love about it? Like, have you ever gone to Comic Con? Like, how come you this and that? Like, sometimes being an outsider kind of gives you almost better access because some guy that loves Star Wars and then meets someone else that loves Star Wars, maybe he's like, okay, like yeah, I get it, we both love Star Wars, but like I'm not looking for more Star Wars friends. But someone that doesn't necessarily share the same interest, you almost have a better gateway in where it's like, why do you love it so much? Like, what do you love about it? And now they want to convince you of this thing, and it's almost like they're now trying to gain your friendship, gain your trust. It's almost like a reverse sale. I feel that there's ways you can target both. If you do share the interest, then it should be a pretty clear path in terms of how should I market the business, how should I put out marketing messages because I'm interested in this thing. But there's all these other opportunities where your customers might be interested in certain things, but you're not. Like we get a lot of Jeep drivers that show up at our shop. I'm not a huge fan of Jeeps. I'm just not. I get it. And here's the thing. I do like the vehicles. I'm not a huge fan of some of the Jeep culture that I've seen. And maybe that's just our city. I don't know. But
Listen, man, you don't like BMWs and you don't like Jeeps. The two cars that I own
I was like, he's going to
and
fucking say.
love. Yes. I mean, I'm counting down the days. The doors are off. I've got 2 more days. Friday, the Beamer goes in the garage. I'm pretty sure after Friday, it's Jeep the whole rest till maybe it's October. It's October or so before I'll drive the Beamer again. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. And that's where, and yes, not a huge fan, but I do understand why a lot of people love them, And so what I did is, so here's a perfect story. So we landed a client. He's got 4 vehicles. We landed him, and he comes in. He sees us every second Friday now. We've tried to get him more often, but he's a busy guy. He made some software anyway. Whatever. He's done well, but he's a busy guy. He comes in often, and at first, to be honest, he was kind of abrasive. We'll be putting it lightly. Like in front of customers, he had a lot of comments about different types of drivers. So he would, say things. Someone that buys a Porsche is this kind of person, but he was saying things that were pretty demeaning to that person. I don't want to say it on air, even on the Off the Clock show. What he was saying was bad.
Those are funny. Those are real funny. They are.
We had to ask him to leave once because it was a little extreme, but in front of customers, it's like, come on, man, like
that maybe is a little bit much. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a.
So, are you talking about face to face then, or are you talking about online? Because I think I've been thinking about online, but you're talking about it seems to be more face to face talking with people.
So we do both, but they're both done in different ways. So we do a lot of our information collecting and stuff like that with customers in person because that's someone that said yes.
But then putting out the content.
But then we put it out online. We will be more.
That's what I'm saying. So let me really ask this then. Maybe not just you. Let me ask you, when you're thinking of the average listener, should they put out stuff online that they don't really enjoy doing?
I would say
no. I'm going to say,
if you're talking about
you can't. You already said yes.
Yeah. No.
You already said. That's why you can't do this. That's why I was clarifying because you were thinking something else.
But when you say online, there's 2 different components in my
Okay, mind. Social media.
One is social media. The other one is email marketing, text messages, things like that.
Yeah.
So you have to attack those birds differently. And so for me, when it comes to email marketing, SMS campaigns, that's where I would hone in on those interests that you may not be interested in. Because you can tailor those messages to that customer's profile or to a group or demographic.
There we go.
When it comes to social media, now we're talking the masses. And that's where I prefer to not niche down and go the opposite, broad spectrum, paint a wide brush, because you don't know who you're going to get. And the goal is cast a wide net at that point in a lot of
But
scenarios.
but we're not talking about the size of your net. We're talking about if you enjoy putting out that content.
Ah, okay. No, not
Do
really. When
you
it comes to
like, and
yeah,
you
no,
still going to say no? You and okay, I got to still say
yeah,
yes because I want somebody to do it more than a month. I
mm,
want somebody to do it more than 2 months. I
okay,
really
good.
want somebody to do it for years.
Mm,
I, I
yeah,
really want people to do it for years. And
mm-hmm,
you go, I can't put out the same thing. No, I'm not talking about the same thing. This is something that we go, hey, it's just something to talk about that you like to talk about that people
yeah,
will hear in your area. Now you're going to put out your car content of cleaning your cars, put out all your normal stuff, but there should also be some flow through, right? Like I
yeah,
talked about the beer, the barbecue. Should a detailer that listens put out and have their opinions about something that they like that will be around in the area? I do still think that would be a good idea to market that way. Like
yeah. I do
talk
think so.
about an
I like
idea
the
that you like something, and it's got to be the reason why I say it's something that you like. And I'm using like because I just don't want to go passion bucket here. But fuck
mhm.
you guys. Fine. Let's go. Let's go all in passion. Something you're passionate about.
yeah,
Oh, I'm so passionate about this. Okay.
mm,
Then then great. We're talking about ideas that you can go talk about online that you can use for marketing. Part of
yeah,
marketing is getting people's attention. Great. You're gonna need some like something. And you need to
yeah,
talk about something you like.
hundred
Not
percent.
again what I'm saying every single time. I'm just saying, was that once a month? Is that once a week? Is that, something,
Yeah,
something that you like? Cars. I think
yeah,
cars, since we're in the car industry, most of
it
us
makes sense.
should know about cars. Like
Yeah,
we should.
yeah, 100%. That's where, like, for us, for example, when VinFast, I'm sure you've heard of them, company in Vietnam, they make electric vehicles. But they launched a new facility here and facility slash because they finished some of them here, but then also they sell them. When they launched that location in Montreal, that was something that we put out, kind of like a question to a lot of our like Tesla owners, like how do they feel? Would they switch this and that, things like that. We just put out like interesting things. There's a lot of stuff always happening within the car industry. Not necessarily always in car care per se. Sometimes it's new models that are coming out, new brands, recalls. It could be there's so many different things that happen, and that's where AI is really going to help you out. If you're not sure, you can say what are some topics I could talk about, things like that. I can post online. But the biggest thing I do want to drive home is that they have to
If you
understand.
tag, if they
Yeah,
tag, right? This goes
yeah.
back to doing what Shawn tells you to do. Tag
Every
your
single time
customers.
you mention this, tag
Gotta
your
tag
customers.
your
Yeah,
customers.
100%. Because tagging them, it's a 10-second decision that you can make right now. You can go and tag a customer after a conversation, or if you see they come in through a certain funnel, tag them. Tag them, be like, oh, we had that thing running. They showed interest. Tag them as something. Then later, now you can retarget that same group of people with something that's more niche. And that's where it starts to get really interesting because back to what I was saying with the big net, when you're going after something like just social media in general, for example, it's the equivalent of I'm going to go to this massive car show. There's going to be hundreds and hundreds of people there. Well, you're only going to have their attention for a split second, and you have to kind of appeal to everyone because you know nothing about them. You don't know who's going to be there. Collect information, tag the customers, and then now you have something to work with. Now you say, okay, I know that this person is in this age group. They've got one vehicle. They have two pets. There's different things Now the messaging gets more refined specifically to what they like. If someone leaves behind like a Pokemon card in their car, tag them Pokemon, and then now boom,
You're back to Pokemon.
back to
What's the
Pokemon.
deal with Pokemon,
I
huh?
don't really even know to be
You been
honest.
playing lately, or what? Are you wanting to
No,
be like a closet
you know what I think
Pokemoner?
happened?
Like, guys, it's actually okay.
I think in my subconscious yesterday, my wife and I we went to pick up the kids at tutoring, and we had 30 minutes to kill. So we said, maybe we'll pick up some food. We could smell
Now
it.
let's play Pokemon.
No, hear me out.
Were
There's
you
more to the story.
okay? Hold on,
Just
hold
wait.
on. Were you one of? Hold on, no. Were you one of the people like 10 years ago with their phones walking out in a field, going
Hell no.
like, "It's here somewhere. It's here somewhere."
Hell
You
no.
remember those people though, right?
I
Like
remember those
it was
people.
genius. It really was for Pokemon genius. But at the
It
same
really
time,
was.
we
Yeah.
would laugh at them driving down the road, going like, "Look at all those people out in the field. Like, what are they?
It's
Oh, Dad, they're
crazy.
the Pokemon people. Like, what? That shit's real."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's madness. I first saw it on TV that it was like a news thing and they were showing people doing it. I'm like, okay. I thought, what a small group of. I thought it was going to be maybe like, okay, they found like a handful of people do.
no.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the
madness.
people that then would make fun of them about 6 months or
Yeah,
they just go, "Wait, you're not playing?" "No, hell no, I'm not playing."
yeah.
But they had started playing. It's like,
It started
huh?
playing. Yeah.
No, I ain't that guy.
No, hell no. No. I'm far too busy to be doing that shit. Plus, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
I never understood it.
Anyway, your
Yeah.
wife wanted you
So,
to play. You
yeah.
had 30
So
minutes to kill. You went
30
ahead and
minutes ago.
downloaded it, and you were sitting there in your Maserati as you're
Mhm.
trying to get over these speed bumps.
Yeah. Because it wasn't a BMW. That's right. But I have an interesting story about BMW. I'll tell you after too. But still not a fan. But interesting story. But no, we went to a food truck and we had the worst experience at that food truck. But we didn't get sick from the food, but we also didn't really eat the food. So we went there, but the outside of the food truck was covered in Pokemon stickers. And so I think it's stuck in my brain now after seeing that. And I remember thinking at the time, and they were all faded. So it must have been they were put on the truck when it was popular or more popular. But I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, who the fuck spent this much time putting on these stickers? Like they were put on one by one. You know what I mean? It's like it wasn't a machine that did it. So, and I remember looking at it, the whole truck was just covered in Pokemon stickers. I was like, this is wild, but it didn't even suit the theme of the food truck or nothing. Like it was just random stickers. But
Mm.
yeah, so I think it's stuck in my brain because of that. But I think that ultimately there's cults, there's groups of people. So near the same spot, which had me thinking about this even more, is
Mm.
underneath the tutoring place. There's a vinyl
Yeah,
record shop.
there's a Jeep cult, and you just said, "You, all you Jeep people,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like you." You
No, no,
can't
no.
do that.
It's, you can't do
Now you
it.
can make fun of Dodge Ram guy, which I
Yeah.
do nonstop,
Mhm.
but you can't say "f you." You can't.
I can say I don't understand or like some of the things that you guys do. I'll lump you
No,
in there.
you could just laugh at the duckies. You don't have to put your personal opinion.
Duckies are
You
crazy.
just
No,
go,
no, no.
"Wow,
You know
those
what it
duckies
is?
are wild.
Yeah,
Wow, those
that's
duckies are a
wild.
bit out of control." Be like,
Wait
"Yeah,
till
I can't
wait
lie
till
to you
you're
there."
here. Wait till you're here in winter, in December, and you've got not one, but tons of people driving with their doors off still. Okay?
Love it.
It's insane, man. It's freezing cold. I can't even roll my window down. It's nuts. It's nuts.
But
So,
that's my point. That's why you should make fun of them. And you shouldn't then voice your opinion that I don't like dot, dot, dot.
yeah,
Yeah.
fair
No,
enough.
we're talking marketing and we're talking unique cultures inside of the car industry. And that's a great point to go in. If we want to be a detail shop, we want everybody, quote unquote, that
Mhm.
wants to fall into line of what we want, right?
Yeah, ideally. Yeah,
We
yeah.
we can all go, "I don't want everybody, I want somebody like," yeah, that's my point. You want everybody to fall in line with what you like. That's the best relationship. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is. It's the best for the customer, it's the best for the business. It
yeah. That's
really
it.
is that they all fall in line. But those people are going to have different types of vehicles. They're going to
Mhm,
have different interest in life. We talk about soccer mom because it's so easy to say,
mhm.
right? They're so easy to put in. But you go into like stretch it back a bit, and you talk about Jeeps for a second, right? You could like in your business if you talked about certain things around a Jeep, you could absolutely fall in love with Jeeps. I guarantee you.
Mm.
If you were somebody that really, really enjoyed plastic restoration, quote unquote, or, transforming the way a Jeep's plastic deteriorates and grays, hey, maybe that's something that you think you're good at. You go, hey, I got this product. Hey, I can do this. You should go into the Jeep world, even if you don't like Jeep world,
Oh,
and
that
you
I
should
agree with.
talk
1,000%.
about
Yeah.
the funny things around. Wow, your bumper looks really gray, different than
Yeah.
that color of dot dot dot. That's a funny
Yeah.
thing, and that's it. Some people are like, well, that's too much hassle. Okay, put it into your own words. You
Hmm.
you don't have to like a Jeep, but you have to like what you could do for that Jeep person, right? I mean, that in that sense.
100%. And that's where I think a big thing is it doesn't have to be something you like. It doesn't have to be like my example of the Pokemon stuff falls in line with that, where it's like I'm not a Pokemon fan, but there are
No,
Pokemon
you can't get
fans out
off of
there.
that. We were talking about Jeep and your
We'll go
distaste
back
for
to Jeep.
Jeep.
Not a
And I
problem.
threw you under. I
A little
rebutted that
triggering.
right back. Yeah, I'm not letting you off of that.
So, all right. So Jeep culture, I don't fully understand it. Okay, I understand it, but I don't appreciate it. I guess would be maybe the word.
How could
And
we use Luna
but
then? If
well,
you
that's the
didn't
thing.
like Jeep culture
Yeah.
and you wanted to go talk to, you could go, Luna. Maybe we should. Let's go this. Let's go. Hey, I don't know if I want to talk about which brand because I want to talk about whatever most of my customers have. Luna, if I've done the right things that Shawn's told me to, I could then go into Luna and go, what are the dominant brands of cars that my customers own? What are some funny things to talk about? Or some,
Win over
back and
customers.
forth. What, and then you could go into the email. You could go into, hey, if I wanted to put out an image, hey, what would be, hey, what would, and then you could start to walk through some things with
Yeah.
Luna if you've done what Shawn's told you to do.
And tag people, absolutely. And that's where I think a good way to look at this is whether you're interested in it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you like certain things your customers are interested in, you're offering a solution to a problem. And each subgroup of society is going to have a different problem. Like one great thing about Jeep owners, for example, all the ones I've met, anyways. Now you're listening. You're listening very intently. So one great thing about Jeep owners is that they do love their cars. They love their
It
cars.
is amazing. It's
Yeah,
not a
it's
Dodge, it's a
it's
Jeep.
it's yeah, it's something else. It is something else. Like it truly is. And leaning into that fact can help you. So understanding if you reverse engineer it and you say, okay, ultimately you want more customers, but why do you want more customers? Because you want more money. Okay, how do you get more money? By offering them something, a solution to some problem that they have. It's really simple. So you just reverse engineer it and you say, okay, what can I do for Jeep owners? Okay, so you start talking with Luna and you say, I want to offer these types of services. I want to target Jeep owners and let Luna know as much of the plan as possible what you have in mind. For example, I want to start with social media and I want to get them into my funnel. From my funnel, I want to use Orbis X and I want to be able to retarget these same group of people. How do I take them? Like, walk me through it from point A to point Z. How do I go from someone that's never heard of us? How do I appeal to their interests? How do I, what kind of messaging should I display? Where should I display it? Should I use images or video or what should I do? Just walk through the whole problem. You're going to spend, let's say, 30, 40 minutes planning before you actually do something. But that 30, 40 minutes is going to make the end result so much more impactful and it's going to be within the right context of your business versus if you just go and take something simple and say, yeah, I really want to get more Jeep customers. I don't like Jeeps, but I know it's a big demographic in my area and I want to get them. Luna's like, okay, well, fuck, I guess try this, try that. Like it's just blindfolded throwing blanks in a sense. But if you give more context and you say, okay, this is where I am, this is what I want to sell,
So it's
You
the
look,
context of, hold on, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I know that I think where you're going, and I want to throw in the answer. The context is you guys see, you, the listener, you see these vehicles weekly,
yeah,
monthly. And I don't mean the same, I just mean cars, right? You see cars every day. Like you're going to see a Jeep probably somewhere in your week, right? Like you're going to
yeah,
see a Mercedes, probably. You're going to see a certain brand, right? Goes back into tagging, tag the brand, tag the customer. But then you are going to see a constant issue.
yeah,
I know that you're going to see it because we all know online people talk about things, and let's go over them. GMC black, easy, low hanging fruit,
yeah,
right?
indeed,
He's super soft, extremely difficult to work on,
yeah,
right? You could go into some certain things around brands. We've talked about plastics, so let's stay there on Jeep, right? You've seen Jeep. A reason I got the Sahara was because I did not want a plastic side, whatever goes over that wheel. Me, not the car guy, dyslexia, can't ever remember what that is. I just go, I don't want that horrible gray plastic that's
yeah,
over my tire. I want it to be painted. Okay, so that was down to a specific line inside of Jeep. You can know if you're a car guy working on cars, issues that
commonality,
vehicles have. A
yeah,
very common thing in Jeeps is plastics, is bumpers, it's all that. We could go to, easy ones, but I don't want to go back into like Xterra and any of that stuff, right? So let's stay on Jeep. If you know that you have people in your area that have an issue like Jeep, the most awesome part about where we're diving into, and here's where it gets to your massive advantage, you the listener, is you use Luna to go Jeeps, and let's tie in everything that's been doing with Shawn, the amount of work he's put in, because now we can go, great. Luna can identify Jeeps. We can now market to somebody that has a Jeep. Hey, are you looking at your Jeep and you wish that dot dot dot? Hey, are you looking at your Jeep and that grayish that's really starting to form around your top? You guys know the words. Luna will know the words, right? You guys will be able to figure this out. She will be able to figure it out. It will all tie into then. Great. HyperClean has a trim cleaner that's going to remove the oxidation. You're going to be able to clean it in the way it's meant to be cleaned, and then a coating to then protect the plastics. Luna's going to tie all that in because of Shawn's work. That's going to recommend to the customer. The customer's going to go, yeah, I got
that's
a problem with
exactly
my
what,
Jeep. That's exactly what I need.
yeah,
Let me book that appointment. Everything's going to be ready to go and teed up simply because Shawn did the work and because we know marketing and how to do it.
absolutely. That's the trick is finding those pain points, and you want to find the pain points. You can provide the solution. The reason for all the other fluff and conversation around, like sports teams and stuff like that is to build the trust. Because what you're trying to do is align all these ingredients so that the sale becomes just something that happens on its own. You don't
Yeah.
have to go hire a sales guy. You don't have to do any of this kind of stuff. You have a system in place that can do this for you, but you have to play an active role in the other pieces. And that's where, making sure you're tagging your customers, making sure that you're using the right products. So it's like, okay, if you know there's these common issues with cars, or maybe if you don't, that's okay. Ask Luna. Hey, I want to market to Mercedes owners. What are some common
Go
pain
back
points?
to who are the most people that I have, right?
Yeah, and
What
it start
cars
there.
do I? If
Yeah,
you guys don't have that data,
it's in Orbis X. So if they don't have it, like I guess they haven't been putting it in. Like you haven't put it in the cars, because it's there. You'll see. There's even a report card shows you your most common makes and models, shows you the most common years. Everything. The data's all there. you could use that to your advantage now. You're getting armed with this super weapon, and you just have to pull back, and let it go. That's it. And I feel that that's a struggling point for a lot of people. So I was talking to a guy recently. Actually, it was one of the
Is the
questions.
struggling point that last 10 seconds? It is, right? Because you
Yes.
said a second ago, not a second ago, you said it maybe like 30 minutes ago, but you were like, hey, you guys just need 10 more seconds.
Yeah.
But it really is. Like,
Yeah.
Nick, my partner and I, we were talking a second, like it was like last week. He was giving this analogy of like, people don't understand. You just got to get over this hill. It's
Yeah.
like this, just this little hill that you got to get over, and then things start to. But
Yeah.
that's that last 10%, right? Like we, all the stuff that got into, and then you go, hey, I need you to take 10 more seconds. I need you to tag this, this, and this, because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's gonna pay out long term. And
Yeah.
it's not going to pay out right now. You already took your money. You already took your sale. You're doing your hours of work. But I guarantee you, if you'll spend 10 more seconds right here, you go,
Yeah.
listen, it's going to take, I would say, Shawn, it doesn't take me 10 seconds. It's going to take me more like a minute.
Yeah.
You, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Me, a
Yeah. Yeah.
minute. If somebody falls in between that 10 seconds to a minute,
Yeah.
how much is that time worth in marketing what we just talked about in the future? So call it 30 seconds. You're like, I'm a 30-second guy. Cool. Listen, man, I'm a 1 minute man. I've already talked
Yeah.
about this,
I
right?
don't want
You're a
no.
30-second guy. Great.
Yeah.
Put in 30 more seconds of work, and you don't understand what that's going to do to climb you over that hill and then have all this stuff, what Shawn's been doing, to
Yeah.
work in your favor.
Because it's really like, if you think, let's say you're dealing with 15 cars a day. Let's just say, and let's say it takes you a minute. We're talking about 15 minutes. Okay. So work that out, and throughout the year. So, because a lot of people, we've all heard this before. Like, I don't even get out of bed for unless I'm doing something for $450. We've all heard that before, right? And you got to think though. So 15 cars a day. Let's say 15 minutes. That's what you're doing. And a lot of the guys listening, like maybe you're a solopreneur, maybe you're not doing 15 cars.
Yeah, call it 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, so we'll go with
Call it
5.
10. Let's meet in the middle and go with 10.
We'll meet. Okay, so we'll go with 10. Sounds good. And so what are we working with? 20 working days. Let's just say 5 days a week. So okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So 200 minutes extra then a month. Okay, that's nothing, especially when it's broken down per day. What do you think the payoff
It's
is, though?
something. It's something because
It's
people are going to
something.
go, I got this, I got that. And there's a reason they're not
Okay.
spending that extra minute. There's a reason. They got
True.
something else going on. I like your analogy because in the grand scheme, it's not a lot. But in the moment, it is a lot. And we got
Yeah.
work to do. We got money to make. I
True.
live where you were headed, but I'm going, the money's in the data.
Mm.
There's a breath in the money you're making now, and then the realization of the play later,
Yeah. There's a
of the
reason
more
why.
money to make later.
Yeah, like YouTube. When Google bought them, I think it was like 2.2 billion, something like that. And we're talking, I don't even know when they bought them, but at least like 15 years ago, something like that. So like that 2.2 billion was, compared to today's money, like it was a lot of money. I mean, 2.2 billion
Yeah.
today is a lot of money.
Hmm.
Back then, that was an astronomical amount of money. They didn't buy it so much for the platform. Google could have built YouTube, right? They bought it for the audience. A lot of companies get bought because of the audience, because they understand the long-term play, that having that audience, nurturing that audience, utilizing that audience to sell more things. If you can use that data in order to sell more stuff, it's worth infinitely more than whatever the value is today.
Yeah.
And so putting in
You know,
that,
people don't hear what Shawn said about getting bought out and all that.
yeah, yeah,
Don't go, yeah, that's it. Don't. We're
yeah,
not
yeah,
talking that. It was an
yeah,
analogy. You
yes,
need to
exactly.
think about, how do I make more money?
Yeah. And if you spend that time now, you take that single sale that you made, you can now turn it into repeat business. And so that extra minute you're going to spend, I guarantee you, if you look at the end of a year, you're going to see, wow, I spent those extra minutes, and sure, some of them might have been wasted. The customer never came back, whatever. The percentage is going to be smaller than you think, and most people are going to come back because you're going to engage with them. A lot of it's going to be automated, so you only have to spend the initial minute, and then Luna and all the work that I did takes over, right? So that 1 minute you spend could end up generating you a bigger lifetime value for that client than your initial sale was, and it only took you an extra minute. So a lot of people are worried, how do I get extra reviews? Imagine if you only had to spend an extra minute on a customer's car. Do you think that guarantees you a 5-star review? But what if I'm telling you that you spend that extra minute tagging a customer and then re-engaging with them? You can A, get those reviews again, but also you're going to generate actual money in your bank account. Reviews do help and they do contribute to your overall revenue as a company in most cases, but that extra minute of tagging the customer and being able to niche down, target them with something that makes sense, something that resonates with the customer, that's going to pay dividends far beyond the initial detail that you did for the customer. Every time.
You used the R word there. Resonates.
Resonate. Yeah. It's a good word. Yeah.
It is a good word. Let's stay on that word, and I'm going to go headline for the episode.
Right.
Minute to memorable.
Minute to memorable. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's really good. Minute to memorable. Spend a minute, you become memorable. Fuck, that's good. Yeah.
It's going to clap.
Well done, Jesus.
Minute to memorable, right?
Minute to memorable. Damn. Yeah.
How do you resonate with the customer? You resonate, right? Resonate means I've got to think about this, whatever, fill in the blank, multiple times, right? Think of it like a crock pot. Think of it like seasoning. Think of it as something of where you could go, once it's sunk in, that means I've resonated. Okay. That's fucking tough to do.
Yeah.
Unless you're memorable.
I wrote that down. Resonating. Minute to memorable. I don't want to.
Unless you're memorable. How do you become memorable? Well, you become memorable by if you attach into somebody's emotion at a moment. People remember midterm to long term, strictly, basically emotional things. If you can create an emotion in them, well, our brain, all of us, when we have an emotion, there's dopamine. There's things that get sent out. The more that is sent out, the more in that moment, well, the more memorable you will be. If you're not very memorable, well, that means that you didn't create enough emotion around a moment. Yeah. We have memories. All of us do. And let's all start thinking about, and as you go through your week and you start thinking about what I'm talking about, start remembering as you have memories and different things that come out. You think about those memories. There's an actual emotion attached to that memory. That's why it logged into your brain. Yeah. So our job as marketers and our job in these moments is to create something memorable. So if you'll take 1 minute,
that emotion,
1 minute to mark the things that people really love. Cars, right? Hey, it's Mother's Day this coming weekend. We still don't have videos.
Yeah. I remember.
People love their moms.
Yeah. It's
hey, so if I made a memorable video around something to give to my mom that may, I don't know if you guys are seeing, I've seen this one where people open this box and like it has these like things like fly around. I go, that's fucking annoying. I'd hate to clean up that mess.
Wait. I think you're talking about, so this Christmas that just passed, I bought these boxes. And so I got one for my wife, one for each of our kids. And they had these like little card things and I had to fold them down. They had elastics inside them or something that like, anyway, I folded them down and you put cash in between each one, clamp it down, and you stack the next one, the next one, the next one. and they're supposed to, when you open it, explode, and then there's just like cash flying in the air with these little boxes. Is that what you're talking about?
Sounds awesome. Um,
Doesn't
this
work.
is the
Doesn't
this is
fucking work.
well, no,
It was like,
this
fun.
is like but this is marketing around. The reason why I thought of it is because these people are marketing around the moment the mom opens a gift on Mother's Day,
Ah, okay, gotcha,
and
gotcha, gotcha.
and it's not cash, but it's like these little
Little
paper
thing.
figurines that look like butterflies, like fly out of this package.
Yeah.
The moment is in the image of the mom,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see where you're
right?
going with this.
It's the emotion of I gave my mom something she's gonna remember.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she remember it? Because she was emotionally charged.
Yeah.
How do you create an emotional charge in your customer that makes you so memorable and yet you so punt Mother's Day? You
Yeah.
so punt these times that you go, well, everybody else is doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to say, but
It's crazy.
we got to
Yeah.
realize that if we do not create emotional moments for our customers, they're not going to remember us.
Yeah. It's true. 100%. And that's a long time ago. I was working with this guy, Dan, and he was the one that taught me a lot about sales. And he told me, he said, sales is just a transfer of emotion. He said that's why when you do sales calls, 'cause at the time I was doing a lot of cold calls and stuff, and he said you always have to be smiling. We've all heard that before, and it's like, why am I smiling? I'm on the phone, and it's like, no, 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 because the emotion's going to transfer from the
Smiling
phone.
creates yep. Hmm.
Yeah, and you got to create that moment. And he said when you're talking to somebody, the small talk is more important than the features or the aspects or whatever we're trying to sell. He said because the small talk is where you're going to create those emotions, you're going to trigger them, the memory, and that's what's going to make them trust you and be excited to buy. Not that they're just going to buy because it makes logical sense. They're going to be excited to buy from you. And I was like, okay. He said, because whatever we're selling, most chances are someone else is selling that also. And so, why it's not a matter of should I buy this or should I not, it's why am I buying from you? So he said, you got to transfer that emotion. So that was a big thing. So, everything I've always done in sales has been transferring that emotion. So, and that's everything. It really is the longest way or the best way to have long success because when you become memorable, that customer's thinking of you more often. That customer is when you talk to them, there's that point in time. If I call one of our customers, they can go back in their memory and it happens instantly, and they can remember some moment where I created some sort of emotional reaction for them. And they're like, oh yeah, hey Shawn, long time no talk. Instantly they're remembering, I last spoke to Shawn 6 months ago. He helped me out with this problem, and like, da da da. They're emotionally charged with good emotions about whatever it was that I helped them with or something like that. And that's why me, I'm sure you've noticed, well, you don't really check your email, but sometimes I end all my emails with a smiley face. And the reason is because one time someone had sent me a message and they ended it with a smiley face. And I was like, oh shit. It made an impression on me. It resonated with me. I was like, wow. I was kind of going through a bad day that day. They sent that message and it just cheered me up. Such a stupid little thing. I never even spoke to them again after. I started putting smiley faces at the end of all my messages because I was like, it's hard with tone in an email or a text message or whatever. So I try and just, no matter what I say, I don't know how it's going to be interpreted. I make sure that I solidify that emotion. That hey, this is coming through with hey, all good. We'll fix it up. Whatever. Smiley face. Boom. It's done. Everything is done with intention. I work on creating those moments. I work on creating those emotions and transferring that emotion to the other person. And you can do the same thing in your business. And it's really easy because people love to talk. We're social beings. Whether even when someone's reading something online, back to social media, it's a one-way conversation is how a lot of people view it. I actually think it's a two-way conversation because the person is consuming the information. They feel like they're conversing with you. It's part of a
Bingo.
conversation.
So let's go into that moment. Here's I love where you're headed, and I know I cut you off, but I was just trying to wait as long as I could. The
I
next
talk a lot
step,
sometimes.
the next step
Yeah, yeah.
is the dance.
Mm,
The next step is
yeah,
the dance. The only
yeah.
way the dance happens, think of it as hey, I'm fishing and I've got a bite, and
Yeah.
I'm the dance, and then I've got this customer, I've got to bite again, and then I've
Mm-hmm.
got to reel them in. There's a dance.
Mm-hmm.
That dance, mm, is that a two step?
Mm.
Is that a
Waltz.
tango? Is that a
Yeah.
waltz?
Yeah. It depends on your
That
dance partner,
dance
right?
depends on your dance partner, but there has to
Mm.
be a dance, right?
There has to be a
You
dance.
there has to be a vibe, and there's the word,
Yeah.
right? There's the vibe. Once there's an emotional moment, and once
Mm-hmm.
somebody comes in, there has to be a vibe, which is I'll go back to why you have to talk about things you like.
Yeah.
If
Because they're
you're
gonna feel that vibe.
inauthentic,
Yeah.
whoa, the vibe will never happen if you're
Mm.
inauthentic.
Because you're absolutely right.
You need to dance. If you don't
Yeah.
know how to dance and you go to dance with somebody that actually knows how to dance, there's a reason why I say I'm a gringo salsa or gringo samba. I would say salsa, damn it.
Gringo samba.
I do gringo samba.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to samba. I don't know how to. I mean, I'm white. Call it what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
I have white rhythm. I have white feet. I have white skin. You're gonna dance samba much different than I am. I
Yeah.
got to call it what it is. I'm not there to dance samba. This is completely different, but it goes into the same moment. I would never market to somebody about that. I would market and I would go in and talk about something I'm actually good at. That's not polishing paint. That's not scrubbing wheels. That's not, look at me. It's not that. Is there anything in your life that is a else that is some type of a hobby, or let's go to that passion bucket, like it's just something that you like that could be similar to your customers, so
Yeah.
that for years and years, since 2017, I've talked about barbecue and beer, and
Mm-hmm.
in 2016 releasing juice, which I consider and which our marketing team considers the most amazing. Whether it's you're going to go detail a car with a detailing aid, if you go, hey, I need a drying aid, I need a finishing spray, whatever you need, it needs to be a clean finish, zero streaks. We need to be done with all this towel clogging and all the stuff that happens.
For real though. It's juicy. Yeah.
You just need a clean juice. You
Yeah.
do. The
100%.
juice is loose.
The juice is loose. Yeah. One thing to just correct there. Marshall said 2016. He meant 2026. But yeah, yeah. I don't know why.
No, I think I just didn't. I think I didn't go all the way with what I was going. I chased a rabbit. I think I meant that I've talked about beer since
Talking about it in
20,
2016. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then we
yeah, yeah.
got into the juice, and I just
Fair
ran
enough.
with
Yeah,
it. My
yeah.
bad. No,
No,
for
no worries.
10 years
This
I've
is a
talked
good
about
way. I
juice.
want to let people
10
know that.
years I've talked about
Yeah,
beer, and here we
yeah,
are. Even though I can miss, right? It came to the pinnacle. Came to the
yeah.
pinnacle of the episode from
Yeah,
like yesterday, where I could do everything I
yeah.
wanted to do here,
All
and
the
then
pieces are
Cox
lined up.
Internet. Yeah, like, but you have
It's
to
so
have
true
just
though.
that's just the way I
Well,
believe things. I just believe you got to have
yeah.
something that you
Mhm.
like to talk about, and then you could pair it to. I like I said, I make fun of somebody posted just recently inside the HyperClean Specialist group
Mhm.
about burn ends because I talked about burn ends,
Okay.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You
do
need
you
that
see
thing.
it? Like, I mean, right? Like, come on, like, can people see it? Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
say it, and then can you see it? There's got
Mhm.
to be something, and then you can see it. I sent you this stuff of what we talked about barbecue years ago, and then I talked about
Yeah.
burn ends recently, and that right. I'm not bragging. I'm not. I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
people to go, I see it. Do you see it? There's
Yeah.
some
That's it.
there's things that you can bring along. You're in
Yeah.
marketing, you have to.
here's a good example, and this actually ties in with because I had a member. He asked, he wanted me to talk about it today, and we chased a rabbit. So sorry, Tanner, but he asked about some review stuff, and one thing that we do. So full disclosure, my favorite hockey team is actually. I'm not a big hockey fan, but my favorite team is actually the Montreal Canadiens. But I live in a city where we have an NHL team. They're actually one of my clients. We do printing for them, stuff like that. So I do support them. I've gone to a bunch of games. They're great. Not
Did they
necessarily.
go into the Canadian like Olympic team that lost to the American team? Was it the
I
same
had.
people?
I was like, is he gonna say some shit? And he said some shit. Listen, we didn't have enough.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
I just was saying, are they the same? Do they
Yeah,
just fall into the same category? It's yes or no. I didn't mean to like
it's
cut
yes
in.
or no.
Just it's just yes or no.
It's just yes or no. Listen, we always give it our best, and I'll give you the corporate answer. We always give it our all, and it's a team sport, and we tried hard. You ever see those interviews with the team that lost? Yeah, they're always
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
we're that team for like the
yeah,
past 50 years. Remember,
yeah, yeah,
since like the 80s.
yeah, yeah,
So I just get my moment to brag. Trust me, I get it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just have
Yeah.
my time.
You took the
Yeah,
moment. That's fair. That's fair.
I just
But
have my time.
here's a good case in point though. Not a huge fan in terms of like I'm not a fan of our local team because I have a preference of another team. But I
They're
know that we're in
American.
a city. Yeah, no, 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 they're Canadian as well. But we're in a city where there's a lot of fans for our local team. So what we do now with we stopped now, but we were doing it a few months ago. Um, Whenever we ask for a review, we always put a little printed sheet inside the customer's car, and we said, please leave us a review about our experience, whether good or bad. We're sure that you loved it. We heard that every review we get increases the chances that the Sens are going to win, and that's all we put. And then people would leave reviews. A lot of people thought it was hilarious. They were like, "Oh, geez, that's so funny!" Like you'd mention something, but it was kind of a polite way of asking that, and also made us seem like, "Oh, we support the local team and this and that." So we tapped into that fanatic, the fanhood, without actually having to be fans. So there's ways of doing this kind of stuff. Just to answer Tanner's question real quick, because I do want to address that for him today. He he wanted to change his templates that go out when invoices are sent to ask for reviews because he wants to push more reviews. And the advice I gave him, which maybe some other people are thinking, is leave certain things. I call those transactional communications. Leave those as transactional communications. The right time to ask for a review is not the same time that you're saying, "Can you please pay your bill for XYZ?" It's not the right time to do that kind of thing. Leave those being very plain, very focused on the task. Please pay your bill. Here it is, or the deposit, whatever it is. Save that for more of an experience and emotion based event, which is the premise of most of what we've been talking about today. Is that those kinds of memorable emotions, you're already asking me for my money. I understand I'm paying for a service, but now you also want a review on top. It's like, really, bro? So my advice was you're better off to do something afterwards. And what we do is we ask in person during our intake. When we finish with the vehicle during the final inspection and they say, "Wow, I love it. It looks amazing." That's the emotionally charged event. Oh, what's up,
We
Marshall?
talked about this. I was waiting. You got to that moment. We've talked about this. There's
Mm-hmm.
two words that people say, and the time in psychology to ever ask somebody to do something is
Mm.
when they list these two words. If your
Yeah.
customer ever says these two words, that's the time to ever ask a favor from them. These
Mm.
two words are thank you.
Mm. Yep. Absolutely. It's because when they're thanking you, they're acknowledging you just did something for them. They feel indebted psychologically. And now it's like, oh, now that I've done something for you, here's what you could do for me. And that's,
So if somebody never says that inside of you giving the keys back and they're just an interchange with you,
yeah.
this is the point of we all love some like, can I just do this every time? You can't. I wish it
Mm-hmm.
was that simple. That's checkers. Business
Yeah.
is chess.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Levels
like
to it.
ideas, but then you got to look. Okay, is this person really? If I don't need to waste my time. I don't need to waste my breath. That my guy might actually call me back if I don't waste his time. And he's only thinking transactional, then let me just do transactional.
Yep,
If they
just let him
ever
know.
say those two words, hey man, thank you.
Thank you. That's the time you pounce. That's exactly the moment. Absolutely. And that's where technology is great, and Orbis X does a great job of following up as well. And there's a reason why we structured it to be 24 hours after, is because in case there's any issue that happens, something like that, you have a chance to address that and get that thank you out of that person instead of just on the spot. But on the spot still does work. So it has to be done in a certain way, though. And it's not usually the time when they're paying their bill. Customers don't usually thank you at the time they're paying their bill. They thank you after they see the result and they're ecstatic and everything looks great. That might be before they paid the bill. That might be after. Maybe you do it after they paid the bill. Then you do a walk around. Whatever that time is, the walk around, the final one, when you pass the keys, that's usually where you get that thank you moment. And that's where you have to capitalize on that. But it also helps to say to them, while you're here, after they say thank you, you could take a minute and just leave us a review right now. Here's the link. Scan this QR code. I'm going to go, prep your paperwork, and then you'll be on your way. And he asked me, he said, what paperwork, though? And I said, make some up. I said, here's what we do. We make a checklist that we put in the vehicle after every detail. So instead of putting that in at the end of the detail, put it in after you talk to the customer. Go print it off. Check the stuff that was done, and you say, here's your service record, so it looks professional.
Shawn, I don't have a printer.
Yeah, fuck the $30.
Make something up.
Make something up. Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be printing
you.
something.
Yeah.
There
Mix
you
it
go.
up.
Bingo.
Yeah,
If you guys struggle in moments of this exercise, go into Luna and go, hey, I need to, and
Yeah.
you can even cite this way. You can even cite this podcast. If you
100%.
guys love this, like, hey, let me put the timestamp. Okay, timestamp this shit.
Yeah,
And then take it to
100%.
Luna and go, how do I do this?
Yeah, and it'll be like boom, boom, boom. These are the steps. And even if you just made something up, you're like, yeah, every vehicle that leaves, I have to just get approval for quality assurance, make sure everything's right. Just go, disappear, do that, and then come back. Oh, thanks for the review, by the way. I'm glad you had a chance to do that. Whatever. It's really simple stuff, but that's the time. The thank you, the emotional exchange, that is the time. Not the here's your bill, and I also need a favor. the
right.
results are not going to be what you think.
Some of you will probably go, I feel I'm pressuring somebody to do something. And that's part of the extra part of sales and what we're trying to do long term. Yeah, you're going to need to pressure them. The average person does not want to go spend the extra. We were just bitching about spending a minute.
A minute to do something that's going to grow your business. And you want them to
So,
spend
of course, exactly, right? So, of course, they are also going to have a problem with spending a minute. Case in point, I've talked about burn-ins. When I was at the restaurant, was that 2 weeks ago, inside the specialist group, I listed that post. Multiple people have now gone in and talked about Rob, our distributor there in Kansas City, talked about how great Rob is, right? Well, that place we ate was Q39. It's a restaurant I had been to before. Rob had been to before. We just hadn't been to together. So we're like, let's go there. Great. Well, I get there a little early. I already knew we wanted burn-ins because the time before we were there, we ordered burn-ins off the appetizer. Oh, well, yeah. Are you a part of our club?
Oh, shit.
No. Well, yeah. So when we have extra burn-ins, we sell them to anybody. But if we're a little short on burn-ins, we require people to be a part of the club.
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, what do I need to do to be a part of the club? Well, scan here is you put in this, it's, and then you can kind of control. It didn't matter, right? When was the hook? If we want to say, when was the mark? Some of us will go, when was the lie?
Hmm.
Was the lie before that I had to do something? I don't know,
Yeah.
but I'm at a point that I want what has been presented,
Yeah.
and am I going to join the club?
Yeah.
I'm joining the club,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Like,
if you
why not?
push people in a way, even though I mean, we were in the moment. My wife was even going, "Listen, you want me to put in my email?" Listen, I hate that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate pressure to join clubs.
Hmm.
So I have a Gmail that, so if somebody
Just for
forces
that
me to
shit.
do that,
Yeah.
and you go, okay, well, why are you talking about it? I'm not the average person.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah.
around the restaurant going, how much data do people collect because they realized there was something that people liked? There's
Hmm.
something that they could move to and send them into a club and gather their data. Like,
Yep.
people will have zero issue handing stuff over to you if
Yeah.
they like something that you give them.
Yep.
They really won't. They want to give it to you. I'm the anomaly. I get
Hmm.
it because I
Yeah.
understand the system. That's why I'm the anomaly. Like,
It's true because I'm the same as you, and it's because I'm in the system as well. Because I do marketing, I understand it. I see my wife; she just gives her email willy nilly. We go buy something, and they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, we go buy some shirts," and she said, "Oh, do you want to join our VIP club or whatever?" She's like, "Sure." Gives them all the
yes,
info. I'm like, "Hold on, what are the perks here?" And they're like, "Oh, we just send out newsletters and this and that." My wife's like, "Hell yeah!" And me, I'm like, "Wait a minute." No, you give me like $50 off or something. What the fuck? Like, our data's not free, but that's the norm. That is the norm. People are just like, okay, sounds good because we're trained that way from young too. You know, you go to school and you're told like, follow the rules. You got to do certain things. You this and that. You stand up at this time. You sit down at this time. That's what we're trained to do. People just follow along. But if you don't have a structure in place, then you're not collecting anything. And if you're
they
not
won't.
spending that minute, oh man, you are missing out.
And you don't give them that minute. You got
Yeah,
to give them
it's
that minute. You got to give them
yep,
a reason to do it. I got to
yep,
go get this.
100%.
I get, maybe you don't give them the key yet. I
Yep,
don't know.
100%.
I mean, that's my
Yeah,
point. I mean, everybody's got to figure out something.
yeah.
I'm
Because
just going into the
that's a
moment of
good
this
case in point,
restaurant.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they figured out what they figured out. It was burn-ins if we have them or we don't.
yeah,
I don't know, man. Figure
yeah,
out for you guys what works for you. Something needs to figure out where there's an exchange. If you're
yeah.
going to get somebody to do something for you, you did a minute. Great.
Mhm.
You put in the work. Hey, man, love it. I love that you put in their minute. Great. Now you've got to get somebody to put in their minute.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to get this ball rolling down the hill, right?
Hmm.
Got it, man. You pushed it up another foot. Now we just got to get it moving down. So now you got to figure out something to get that person to do what you want them to do. And that's
Yeah.
beyond what they've already done, right?
Yeah. It's true because them paying their bill to them that's transaction complete. You asking them for a favor now, can you leave us a review? It's not a requirement of the service at all. So now that's a big friction point. So how do you get them over that barrier? And that's where you could do something like even withholding the keys, not in a negative way, and you don't tell them that, but you're just like, hey, they say thank you, and you're like, oh, perfect. Now, if you could just leave us a review, that would be tremendous. Excuse me, make it easy. Scan this QR code. Okay, boom. They go on their phone. They do it. While you're leaving the review, I'll go, do the quality assurance, and I'll go get your keys. It almost sounds conditional that like if I don't do this, I'm not getting my key. Like obviously that's not the case, but psychologically it kind of plays on them a bit. There's ways you can do it. That's
There's something that has to be done,
yeah.
and let's go. Let's go. Listen, I'm very serious here. I believe that the majority of listeners are going to go, fuck, I don't know. I really don't want to. I understand what you guys are saying, but I'm in that moment and I don't know what to do. But you guys are right. I do believe that I need to keep some way. I do need something to do with this customer, something. Okay, so get out of that moment and let's go back to what Shawn's done for you guys. you're going to be able to work with those customers long term. Even if you get into that moment, you go, okay,
Mm-hmm.
all good, man. You froze up. No worries. All good. The new booking form and the new ways of talking to them and what Luna's going to do automatically for you.
Oh man, that I'm so excited for.
It's okay, right? It's
Yeah,
okay. Take a deep breath. You,
because a lot of it's going
you
to happen
do
remote.
under
Yeah.
what? Yeah, it's okay. We got your back.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. As long as you got your front, we'll take care of the back. But it really is it, and that's where we're finding new creative ways to handle those minutes for you, so that the minutes get taken care of. We reduce the friction with the customer, things like that. That way, because a lot of guys like the upsell potentials are there, and even though we've made it automated in a lot of ways, sometimes they're like, "Well, I'm not sure what my upsells should be." So now we've said, "Okay, we hear you. We're grabbing the reins for you, no problem, and we're going to set up automated upsells for you. We're going to upsell products for you that you just install. You're going to make money. Customer's going to be happy. They're going to say thank you. You're going to be like, oh shit, I'm supposed to prompt him. He said thank you. Perfect. That's my prompt. Hey, by the way, the best way you can say thank you is leave me a review here. It really helps out my business long term. I want to be here today, tomorrow, and in the future for you. The best way you can do that is by giving me a review. We're going to help take a lot of the friction and pain points away. We're going to help automate a lot of the sales for you. So you just experience growth and you keep doing what you do. You keep loving what you do. You keep begrudgingly working on Jeeps. And then we'll we'll take it from there.
Love it. Love it.
I
Love it.
had to throw that
Love
in
it.
there.
Love it. Love
but
that hook. Love it.
Thanks. But in a serious moment, we do have your back. 2026 is going to be very exciting. So Juice just launched. Check it out. Juicy, juicy, juicy. You got the juice now. Who's got the juice?
The juice is loose.
The juice is exactly. So check that out. Absolutely. I think I'm going to take your email and post it in the group as well. And you made a wicked ass video too. I want to share that too. Since I guess you're going
I
to be
did
the only one
not.
with videos.
Nick and the team made
Okay,
that
fair.
video.
Fair
I
enough.
made the product.
Mm.
I made
There
the
we go. Fair
product.
enough.
Any of the other stuff, all credit Nick and the team. They've done an awesome
Fair.
job. They
They did
actually
do a
have started
really
to
good
go
job.
out. Yeah, I mean, really
Yeah.
step out. Let's try and do some things that look. You got to understand. It's just right. Like, and
Yeah.
that's a fuck. They did some great ass videos, man. They
Oh
really
man.
did. I'm
Yeah.
really excited to where people, Steve. We also attempt marketing, and Nick
Yeah.
and what the team have done. They've really done an awesome job.
100%. No, hats off. As soon as I saw the video, you sent it to me. Oh, well, how many questions
Mhm.
did I have? Right away, it was like ping, 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 ping. You were probably like,
Bingo. Yeah,
come on,
you're right.
chill.
I'm like, hey, me,
Yeah.
Nick. Nick did an awesome job with it. Nick and
Yeah.
the team did a great job.
Amazing. And you got to think like me, like I've been in marketing for years. I've seen a lot of shit. Like I've seen a lot of really bad marketing, but I've also seen really good marketing too. So it takes a lot to kind of I don't know like incite something in me. And so when I see something that's really good, I'm like, whoa, this was good. And you guys did a
Hmm.
great job. So hats off to
Inside
that.
the specialist group, people already talking about it, like, and gave Nate,
Oh
Nate, Nick,
man,
great job. They were like,
yeah,
hey, that's a cool video. It's like, yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah. It really is. Like when someone just nails it, and you're just like, cheers. It's just like, well done.
mhm.
Like there's just no room for improvement really. It's not like it was good except for this part or that part. Like there's just nailed it. So yeah, yeah, no, they do good. And it actually kind of made me jealous isn't the right word, but maybe it is. I realized how lacking we are on our video side of things, and so we had a girl doing some video stuff. She was replaced, let's say, and we got a new guy that's taken over. He's doing an okay job, but I think I'm gonna send that video and be like, see this right here, this is the kind of level, the top tier shit that we're aiming for. You know what I mean? And see if the lights some fire under his ass because they're okay, but we want more than okay. Like especially this day and age, you got people using AI to produce some pretty stellar stuff. Like we gotta, I still think with the video side, there's still a big room for like human involved video creation. I think so. It's something that AI hasn't really perfected yet. It does an okay job on some quick videos. We had that competition during Christmas, stuff like that. When it comes to, you know, other types of videos. Anyway, you guys did a great job. I don't need to beat a dead horse, but yeah. So guys, listen, stay tuned. Engage X just dropped, so you can send out your bulk SMS and your bulk email. Those are going to be tied in with the new stuff that we have launching as well with HyperClean, where it's going to automatically upsell for you to your clients. They're going to be happy. You're going to get more installation money because you're going to be installing these products as well. And it all happens on autopilot, ships right to your door, ready to install basically, and gets added to your appointment automatically in Orbis X without you lifting a finger until it's time to install. So easy breezy, easy money. That's what we're about. 2026, 2027, what's coming, because we're going to remove those friction points. We're going to help you guys grow, automate, and make more money. And all you got to do is just, when you hear thank you, prompt the customer to leave a review. That's it. That's the process. It's a nutshell. Yeah, man. So cheers,
May the
man.
juice be with you.
May the juice. I knew it. I was like, he's gonna before we end for sure. Yeah, I had to get that moment because you were like, I missed it yesterday. Yeah. So guys, check that out too. I'll post that in the group as well, so you can see the video that I saw that was so amazing, and also you can check out the product as well, because it's a game changer for you, honestly. So you'll be working with a great company, U.S. made as well, which helps a lot. While others are dealing with pallet and supply issues, this is the company to work with. Sorry, I had to get one last shot in there. Sorry, my bad. Was he 0 for 3? I think so. It's I don't know. Some people try, some people do. But anyway, appreciate you as always, man. I'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned and check out Punch the Pulse podcast as well. Lots of great stuff there too. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.